name is Mohammad Hassan Ali, and I got a job with KPMG, and I'm currently working as an IT auditor over there, which is more of a tech-based role. So once I started the job, I had that aim in my mind that I would move towards something into fintech. As I inquired more and more around, including Kaplan and many other institutes around that, CFA will take you from the scratch from level one. So when I inquired about various qualifications like ACCA, CMA, CFA, I did that with Kaplan as well as other institutes, which was my agenda, and I realized that ACCA would more be on the level of undergraduate degree, as the requirement is to just jump into it after doing your 12th grade. Whereas compared to CFA and I think even for CMA, if I'm not wrong, that you need to have an undergraduate degree to move into that qualification. So it would be the right next step for me, and given that my interest in finance, CFA was more of an appropriate qualification for me. I would say that even after studying my undergraduate and even 12th grade, obviously not disregarding any of the education I've got, obviously thankful for all of that, but what I've experienced in this past 4 months is that when the content of CFA and what you're taught is very practical and it directly applies to your day-to-day life, if you're especially working in any of the finance sectors or anything related to that. And most importantly, your quality of conversations with anyone just increases because your content directly is related to practical life experiences. You're going with, suppose like we were in this unfortunate event of COVID, when we were doing economics or even when we were analyzing equities, we were thinking in terms of how COVID impacted that. So there is a direct application. So if anyone's thinking of, getting their quality of conversations above and everything, this is the best course you can think of. The answer is quite straightforward because when I was approaching all the institutes, Kaplan seemed to be more, informed in terms of when I had my questions, and it gave me the right answers and it gave me that insurance that, okay, that taking CFA and according to my interest was the right step. And I felt like when I spoke, and the best thing is, when I was inquiring with many institutes, everyone told me that, you're supposed to speak to the trainers or the people who actually teach you, which will give you the best choice of institute. So I did speak to many other instructors in Kaplan and I found my comfort over here. So the main thing I think I found was the uniformity, because in terms of the special material, the revision, like we were constantly asked to like just refer to the same material and not look at, because many times what happens is when people are very overwhelmed with the culture of the CFA, they tend to look at CFA curriculum and get themselves more confused and be like this. But when Kaplan came, they always stood into that from day one till exactly 4 days before my exam. I'm still told to just refer my special notes and look at the online special material which is available, which is directly in terms of how Kaplan taught us throughout. So that way uniformity will stand out for me in terms of Kaplan. Actually, so if you think in terms of story, it's been a big support because initially I had registered for the June 2020 exam, and given the COVID situation, the whole dynamic of what I thought CFA would be completely changed. So in terms of getting the necessary help and everything, because to be very honest, in the start, once the COVID thing happened, we were very uncertain of what would happen. So, but as soon as the Excel sheet came where we got a detailed study plan and then completely shifting to online classes, which was a very smooth transition, I feel. And especially coming from UK university where I was used to studying on online lectures, I didn't find it a big challenge. But Kaplan made it so easy that sitting at home, you can review as many times as you want the lecture, and that helped a lot. And specifically, Kaplan's best thing, which I had heard initially from before also, was the revision program, which is like 1 month prior to. And to be honest, how much ever you say you want to do online, but doing revision at least 9 hours physically was more important than doing it online, and I'm glad that happened at least post lockdown. So prep is more of a detailed first time kind of a teaching where if you're new to the topic, you'll go into each and every depth and they'll cover each and every area. But when it comes to revision, it's more of obviously like referring the past mate and focusing on the exam focused things, which is the right approach, I feel, because in the start it's necessary for you to get the full picture, but towards the exam, when you're getting the exam pressure, you're getting overwhelmed with everything, you want to focus on the things which are more important for the exam, and that is what exactly the revision pro does, and which is a big difference when you do the prep and the revision of the same topic. Yes, definitely I would, because I was told this from other recommended friends of family of mine as well, that Kaplan does the best CFA training in the UAE, so I would definitely refer to anyone if anyone's doing CFA or CMA. Exam tips is again directly what the instructors have been telling us, that focus on mock exams and focus on passmate in your last 2-3 weeks or right before your exam, and like don't get overwhelmed with getting difficult questions, going through difficult questions or going through more and more material which you don't know. Like just focus on what you're good at, and because even though level 1 is so big with 10 subjects, there's no way possible that you are going to excel all 10 subjects. There will always be one weak point. So rather than focusing on getting that weak point perfect, you need to focus on what you're good at, which are the other 9 things. So I would suggest exactly as what our instructors have told us, like passmate is your Bible in the last 2-3 weeks, and you need to keep doing more and more mocks, which gives you confidence. Aspirational.